Scorpio, something isn't right. Have you felt it? That strange heaviness in the air, the way your heart suddenly races for no reason, or that unexplained pressure in your spirit, like something or someone is trying to reach you from the other side. Between May 27th and May 30th, the energy surrounding you isn't just shifting, it's testing, not in the obvious ways, not with accidents or chaos, but with subtle traps that look like comfort, sound like peace, and even feel like love. But they're not. They're karmic setups, placed there by the universe itself. Why? Because you, Scorpio, are on the edge of something huge. Your soul is preparing to step into a completely new frequency, one that brings purpose, wealth, love, and power. But before you enter it, the universe has one question. Are you really ready to leave the past behind? Because if you're not, these 3 spiritual traps will make sure you stay stuck, not just for weeks, not just for the summer, but for years. Scorpio, this is not just another phase. This is your final test before June begins, a portal month that decides what your next 8-year cycle will look like. If you've been feeling strange lately, like time is bending, like people from your past are randomly reappearing, like you're having vivid dreams or waking up between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., that's because you're already being watched by your guides, by your ancestors, by the very energies that once protected your bloodline before you were even born. You're not paranoid, you're being prepared. But here's the secret they won't tell you. The final traps won't look like danger. They'll look like an old flame that just wants to talk. A job opportunity that sounds secure but feels off. A friend asking you for one last favour. A choice between what's safe and what scares you. In the best way the test is, will you fall for it again? Will you let your heart pull you back into a pattern, or let your spirit push you into your power? Scorpio, what's coming isn't normal. This is spiritual warfare wrapped in a disguise. That's why you're watching this right now. Because deep down, something in you already knows. This time, it's different. So stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to expose exactly what those 3 traps are, how to avoid them, and how to finally pass the test that has followed your soul across lifetimes. This is your awakening. Are you ready? Then let's begin. Scorpio, you've been feeling the shift, not just in the world, but within yourself. Over the last few months, or even years, your soul has been climbing, healing, awakening, shedding skins that were never truly yours. But now, from May 27th to May 30th, something different is happening. This isn't just a phase, this is a cosmic checkpoint. You're standing at a spiritual portal, and that portal doesn't open for just anyone. It opens for those who are ready to walk into their next life chapter with power, clarity, and alignment. But here's the catch. Every divine upgrade comes with a test, not to punish you, but to prove that you've learned, that you've grown, that you're finally ready to leave behind the loops that once trapped you in pain, confusion, and delay. The energy of these days is karmic. That means the universe is bringing situations to the surface that are rooted in your past, sometimes even past lifetimes. You might feel emotional for no reason. You might dream of people you've let go. You might feel pulled to go back to old patterns or old relationships. But don't be fooled. These are spiritual traps, and the most dangerous thing about them, they don't come as threats, they come as familiar comforts. The 3 traps that will appear between May 27th to 30th are reflections of your deepest trauma. The people who once hurt you but now return, smiling. The old emotions that resurface when you thought you were healed. The choices that tempt you to just settle for what's easy. If you fall for these illusions, Scorpio, you won't just delay your progress, you'll lock yourself into another soul cycle that lasts until 2033. That's 8 more years of feeling almost ready, but never quite arriving. But if you face these tests with clarity and courage, you break free, and June becomes the beginning of your highest timeline yet. The question is, are you ready to face the final exam, or will you repeat the class again? Trap number 1, the silent saboteur. Scorpio, the first trap is the most dangerous. Why? Because it wears a mask of peace. This trap doesn't shout, it doesn't demand, it whispers. It's called the silent saboteur. And between May 27th and May 30th, it will try to creep into your energy in a way that feels harmless, even comforting. But it's anything but. This saboteur could show up in the form of a friend from the past who suddenly wants to reconnect, an ex-lover who messages you at 11:11 with "just checking in," a job or opportunity that seems perfect on paper, but deep down, your soul feels off. It might even be an emotion like guilt, nostalgia, or compassion that pulls you into a space where your boundaries begin to blur. And that's how it begins. See, Scorpio, you are highly intuitive. You see what others miss, but your empathy is your weakness if you're not grounded. The silent saboteur knows this. It doesn't need to fight you. It just needs to remind you of who you used to be. It plays on your desire to fix things, to heal others, to give second, third, and fourth chances. But listen closely. This energy isn't here to heal. It's here to hook you back into the very version of yourself that you've spent months, maybe years, trying to evolve from. That friend who needs just a little support might start dumping all their emotional weight on you again. That ex who says they've changed might drag you back into cycles of self-doubt. That job that looks good might keep you stuck in a career that suffocates your soul purpose. This is the trap. It feels familiar, but it's not aligned. It feels soft, but it's spiritually toxic. This isn't about cutting people off harshly. It's about honoring your frequency. Ask yourself the one question that reveals the truth. Is this energy helping me rise, or is it pulling me back into who I used to be? Because if you choose to entertain the saboteur, even for a moment, you reopen the karmic door that was finally closing. And Scorpio, that door won't close again until 2033. That's why this isn't just about protecting your time. It's about protecting your timeline. You didn't come this far just to slide back into comfort. You came to evolve. So when the silent saboteur shows up, and it will, stay alert. Because the moment you say no to it with power is the moment the universe says yes to your next level. Trap number 2, the trigger loop. Scorpio, the second trap is brutal. It doesn't attack your body. It attacks your mind, your heart, your identity. This trap is called the trigger loop, and it is one of the universe's most powerful spiritual tests. It's not about the external world. It's about your internal response. This trap shows up when something or someone pulls you back into the exact wound you thought you had healed. It can be an argument with a loved one who still refuses to understand you. An old fear resurfacing, like, what if I'm not good enough? That voice in your head whispering, you always mess things up. And the moment it happens, your nervous system kicks in. You feel shaky, defensive, angry, or number. And just like that, you're back in the loop. You're reliving the past, not because you failed, but because the universe is asking, have you finally learned to respond differently? Scorpio, the trigger loop is not here to break you. It's here to reveal you. This is your karmic playback, a spiritual mirror showing you how far you've come or how quickly you can be dragged back into the shadows. And here's the twist. The trigger isn't the problem. Your reaction is, because this isn't about the pain anymore. It's about the pattern. If you respond the same way by yelling, shutting down, self-blaming, you stay in the cycle. But if you pause, if you breathe, if you observe without feeding the fear, you break the loop, and that moment becomes the beginning of your soul liberation. Scorpio, you are not your pain. You are not your past. You are the one who gets to decide how the story ends. So when the trigger shows up, and it will, don't let it pull you under. Just pause. Don't respond. Don't defend. Just watch. Because when you stop giving the pain power, you reclaim your peace, and the universe sees it. That's the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Trap number 3, the choice that feels safe. Scorpio, this is it, the third trap, and it's the most dangerous of them all. Why? Because it doesn't feel like a trap, it feels like home. It feels like peace, protection, and safety. But underneath the surface, it's spiritual stagnation dressed as alignment. It's called the choice that feels safe. Between May 27th and May 30th, this trap will tempt you in a way the others couldn't. This one won't come as a red flag. It'll come as a comfortable offer, a chance to just go back to what's familiar. It might be an ex reaching out with the perfect message. I've changed. I miss you. A job offer that feels secure but deep down kills your spirit. A moment when your heart wants to speak up, but your fear says, stay quiet. This trap wants you to settle, to take the path that looks easier, feels safer, and requires less courage. But here's the truth, Scorpio. That safe choice, it's a karmic coffin. It buries your potential under layers of routine and comfort. It locks you into a limited timeline where you keep living the same year over and over again, until one day you realize nothing ever really changed, and by then the portal has long closed. The universe doesn't punish you for choosing comfort, but it pauses your evolution until you're ready to walk through discomfort and into destiny. Scorpio, if your heart races before you decide, if your gut whispers, this isn't it anymore, please listen. The discomfort you feel, that's your soul outgrowing the box you once begged to fit in. You weren't born to repeat cycles. You were born to burn through them and rise. You're the sign of death and rebirth, of transformation, of rising from ashes and returning as fire. So when that tempting offer comes during May 27th to 30th, when the safe choice presents itself, smiling and polished, ask yourself, is this choice keeping me alive, or is it slowly killing my spirit? Because this isn't just a decision, it's a timeline shift. One choice locks you into another decade of delays. The other catapults you into the next era of your soul's mission. And Scorpio, you already know the answer. You're not here to settle. You're here to soar. So don't go back. Don't play small. Don't trade your calling for comfort. This is your moment to rise. Scorpio, if you've made it this far, your spirit already knows this message wasn't random. It was divinely timed, because between May 27th and May 30th, your soul isn't just being tested. It's being chosen. Chosen to rise, chosen to break karmic cycles, chosen to lead others who are still trapped in the dark. And now, your next move is critical, because how you respond in this moment decides what energy you walk into on June 1st, the day the portal opens. So if your heart is pounding, if your mind is racing with clarity, if you feel chills or confirmation in your gut, then do this right now. Comment below 11 times, I see the traps, I choose my soul path. That declaration is not just for the algorithm, it's for the universe. It's your soul saying, I won't go back. I won't play small. I choose growth, even when it's uncomfortable. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell, because we're not done. June 1st is a cosmic threshold, and only those who pass the test during these final days of May will receive their next divine assignment, a mission that brings alignment, abundance, and spiritual protection for the rest of 2025 and beyond. Share this message with another Scorpio you know, someone who's been silent, someone who seems strong but is secretly struggling, someone who needs to hear that they're not crazy, they're being called. Because these 3 traps, they're not just spiritual warfare, they're soul warfare. And your tribe, the ones you're meant to walk this path with, may be one message away from their own breakthrough. So speak, share, Align, because your action becomes someone else's awakening. Scorpio, your energy is magnetic, but right now, it's also vulnerable. And the universe is watching who you become in the face of these temptations. Will you shrink back into safety? Or will you choose your true soul path, no matter what it costs? Comment, subscribe, share. Let the universe hear your choice, loud and clear, because once you declare it, the energy shifts. And your next chapter begins right now. Scorpio, you weren't born to live small. You weren't made for mediocrity, repetition, or silence. You were sent here in this lifetime to transform, to rise, to lead others out of the very pain you've had to crawl through. But no soul mission begins without an initiation, and for you, that initiation is happening now. These 4 days, May 27th, 28th, 29th and 30th, are not just dates on a calendar. They are a karmic checkpoint, a cosmic final exam, a test from the universe that asks, are you ready to become who you were destined to be? Because if you are, the path ahead will unfold like magic. But if you aren't, the door to your breakthrough will close and won't reopen until 2033. That's 8 more years of almost. 8 more years of questioning your worth. 8 more years of running in circles while your destiny waits. So Scorpio, let's break it down one last time. The silent saboteur, a calm, familiar presence that wants to drain your power by slipping in through your empathy. It whispers, come back, but it secretly wants to pull you under. The trigger loop, the same fight, the same wound, the same reaction. It keeps playing on repeat until you finally say, I choose peace over pain. The safe choice, the biggest trap of all. It feels comforting, but it cages your potential. It looks like love, but it kills your growth. Scorpio, you're standing at the edge of 2 timelines. One leads to expansion, alignment, and the beginning of your true purpose. The other leads to delay, distraction, and spiritual numbness. This is your line in the sand, a moment that separates the old you from the real you. So ask yourself right now, am I willing to walk into discomfort if it leads me to alignment? Am I brave enough to release comfort, to receive clarity? Am I done repeating? Because your answer determines everything. And here's the truth. If you've watched this entire message, if you're still here, heart pounding, soul wide open, then you're already waking up. You're already rising. So don't stop now. Scorpio, this is your final test, but also your greatest opportunity. Pass it, and your life changes. Miss it, and you wait another cycle. But you're not here to wait. You're here to lead. The universe has spoken. Now it's your move.